everyone, I'm Jennifer Sauté and you're watching CRN TV. Welcome to the channel Cooking at Home, where we mix business with pleasure, sharing homemade recipes while also covering hot channel topics. And here with me today is Dux Raymond Sy of AvePoint. Thank you for joining me today, Dux.
Well, thank you for having me, Jennifer. It's such an amazing opportunity. I've been waiting for this for the longest time.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. So what recipe will you be sharing with us today?
So today I'm going to share how to make shrimp fried rice. That's very delicious and it's so easy to make.
Awesome. Well, we definitely love fun, quick recipes, easy to turn around. So what ingredients do we need?
So first and foremost, you need 3 tablespoons of canola oil, or some of you, if you want a little healthier, you can use avocado oil. You need to cut up some of these spring onions, and you just get a strand of it, and that's good. Some mixed vegetables, maybe half a cup of it, and half a cup of mixed vegetables. You know, you can go to the grocery, go to the freezer, get some mixed vegetables, or if you want fresh vegetables, that's good too. We've got half dice onions, just cut it up, dice it up, and obviously shrimp. I suggest you get these nice peeled 12-ounce uncooked shrimp. Let's see what else. We've got eggs, 2 eggs, beat it up, and that will really make it tasty. And then we've got, I just mixed it up, my salt, my pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. What else do we have? We have soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. Again, if you want a little healthier, you can get light soy sauce or ponzu sauce. And then obviously rice, we get maybe 2 to 4 cups of rice, depending on how much rice you want. So it's up to you. You can use brown rice as well. And lastly, this is rice wine. There's different versions of it, but just go to the grocery. You can find Chinese rice wine. So make it really good. So that's pretty much it.
And as we're talking about the variety of ingredients that you're using to make this dish, it goes hand in hand with today's topic of diversity and inclusion. So what can you share with us?
You know, Jennifer, I know has been a lot of things that have happened in the last couple of months between social injustice and just looking at the equality in the workforce. In our organization, as a company of 17, 18-year-old, we value this since the beginning of the company back in 2001. AvePoint is a Microsoft ISP where we build software for the Microsoft 365 cloud. And I'm so grateful that we focused on this from the beginning. It's in the DNA of our organization. And a lot of times, companies are wondering, how can we start doing this? How can we jumpstart our D&I program? We're not that big. We're not Microsoft. We don't have endless resources or a department to do it. But I'm here to tell you, any organization can do it. And that's a secret that I want to share with everybody, that it doesn't have to be a big company. Today, right now, you can start and jumpstart your D&I program.
And I'm happy you touched on how this impacts different size organizations who, like you said, might not have a designated department that focuses on D&I. So for organizations who are taking a stand against social injustice, how do they start? What advice do you have?
Sure. So first and foremost, speaking of starting, right, that's why I love the fried rice analogy here, is you can really look at different elements of your organization and what's your DNA, what's your core values that sets yourself apart and sets yourself different than any organization. And then look at those core values and think about, how can I promote this and make sure that every employee in my organization is heard, is provided opportunity, and also empowering everybody to make sure that they can do their own outreach and make a difference as well. So there's actually 5 steps that we took that any organization can take. You know, step 1 is, I kind of talked about it already, D&I has to be a part of your organization's DNA and you have to celebrate it. You know, for us, when we think about D&I, it's beyond diversity and inclusion. We think about equality and allyship as well. So as a company, we kind of put all those letters together and we call it IDEA: inclusion, diversity, equality, and allyship. But what do you think about that, Jennifer?
I love it. I love it. And especially, in a blog post that you shared on LinkedIn, I loved how you talk about, sharing these 5 steps and turning your idea into reality. So, if you can walk us through the rest of these steps.
Sure. So the first step, again, it has to be in your DNA. The second step is you have to have a diverse workforce, because if everybody's the same, you all think the same way, you can be you can have blinders on and not think about it in a different way, right? And by having that, not only is it valuable to every employee, but it has great business impact as well. Boy, I can't tell you how many times that we've gotten ideas from colleagues from different parts of the organization, different parts of the world, that help not only the way we build our products, but the way we support and engage with our customers as well. Step 3 is you have to always listen, learn, and unlearn. So in the recent situation that we had in the United States around the injustice towards African Americans and our colleagues, our Black colleagues, we paused and had an open conversation internally. We learned so much. The 4th step is empowering people to come up with their own idea. We're not Microsoft. We don't have a full-time D&I team. So our idea committee is about 35 people that's from different parts of the organization, different offices. Sure, it's led by somebody from the people team, our HR organization, but people are raising their hands, coming with an idea. But here's the thing, leading as well. So for example, my colleague Sam, he came up with an idea. He said, look, a lot of kids here in the US are going back to school. However, a lot may not have computers or tech to do online learning, especially for those that are in underserved communities. So what did he do? He went out there and partnered with Microsoft, Sage SE, another Microsoft partner, and Boys and Girls Club. So now we're doing a tech drive that's open to anybody. So for people watching, donate your tech. I'm sure Jennifer will share the link, where we literally send you a box. You can send your old laptops, computer, tablets, and Sage SE will refurbish it, and Microsoft provide the licenses, and then we'll send it to Boys and Girls Club for them to distribute it. And that's really powerful, right? Which leads to the 5th step. The 5th step is, while being inclusive and having diversity, equality, and allyship is great within the organization, we have to care about people outside of organization. We should give back to the community. And that's a key part of how we think about idea. So hopefully that's beneficial to our colleagues watching. And I don't know about you, I'm kind of hungry already. So if you want me to start cooking.
I would love that. I have to say, I'm excited to see how you're gonna throw this all together.
All right, so all it takes is 5 steps. Now you have all these ingredients. Step 1, all right? Step 1, you take 1 tablespoon of the oil. So you can use a wok or a non-stick pan. So it's already warm and hot. So the first thing you want to cook is the egg. So just throw it in there. And with the egg, it's kind of like scrambling it. And the key thing here is you don't want to overcook it, or else it'll be too dry. So maybe about 30 seconds. And then once it's kind of good, you don't want to overcook it, because we're going to throw it back later on once we throw the rice in. So this looks good for me. Step 2 is take another tablespoon of oil. We had 3 tablespoons total. And this time you want to cook the shrimp. So the shrimp, the key here is you don't want to overcook it. So this shrimp, you just want to throw it in there. And as you throw it in there, maybe about 20 seconds. Step 3, let's put the rest of the oil. And this is the fun part. This is where we get to mix everything else. So here, the first thing we want to do is throw in the onion. So the onion, what you want to do is, as you essentially stir fry and saute it, you want it to be, you want the translucent color to kind of go away, make it a little brown. So I'm cooking it here. And as this is going on, you want to prep pretty much the rice. You can cook it from scratch, but for your fried rice to be delicious, it has to be leftover white rice. Okay, so I think, okay, it's brown enough. These onions are brown enough. I want to make sure the fire is still there. So now I'm going to put the rice. So here's the key with the rice, right? You have to cook this right for maybe about 3 minutes. You want to make sure it's warm and hot before you throw in the rest of the ingredients. Because if you don't do that, the flavor won't stick to the rice.
So as you're heating up the rice for the flavor to stick, what are your thoughts on D&I as it is today in the tech industry? Is there something more we can do, or we need to do more to be a part of the resolution, be a part of the change, which is critical, especially today?
I believe while we've made a lot of good inroads, there's still a lot that we can do. So certainly it's exciting to see the commitment of a lot of organizations to being equal in gender when hiring. Being equal in hiring different people from different races or color. But I also would like to see more of being able to focus on hiring people with different backgrounds and abilities. So for example, one of the areas that's underserved is folks that may be neurodiverse. And what I mean by neurodiverse is having dyslexia or ADHD, or have some kind of some different ability around how they think cognitively. So I think the being in tech, we can provide tons of opportunities for that. Okay, so now we're ready. It's hot enough, and we're gonna mix. So step 1, the egg. Step 2, the shrimp. Step 3, the onion, the rice. So now step 4, essentially we just mix everything up. So salt and pepper, soy sauce, mix it up, and then the egg. All right, and then the veggies, and then the shrimp. And then step 5, last step, spring onions. It's these green onions. And then the rice wine. So you put the rice wine in there. So the rice wine gives it a distinct flavor and makes it quite aromatic and makes it smell really good. And you don't have to cook it stir fry for too long as the last step. And then we're pretty much set here. We can shut it off. And then let me serve it in a bowl and show it to everyone what the shrimp fried rice looks like. So I've got my little chopsticks here too, because I'm ready to go, but here. I wish I could send this over to you right now because it tastes really yummy. And
I literally just want to reach for it through the screen. It looks delicious.
Thank you.